what the heck? It's May. Where has the time gone? I'm like shook. If you didn't know, May is a very, very important and special month to me. It is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I am somebody who has, lived with mental illness since 2008. And honestly, if not even before then, just undiagnosed. I want to mention straight off the bat, I am not a professional. I'm simply somebody who, like I said, has lived with it. And I wanted to just, as like a real human being, share my experiences and share 5 tips that have personally helped me in dealing with, living with, and overcoming depression. I also want to give a special shout out and thank you to Johnson & Johnson for sponsoring this video. They do a lot of work in the mental health field, which a lot of people are unaware of. I feel like a lot of people think of Johnson & Johnson as like the baby shampoo and things like that, but there's so much more to them. I've been working with them since September. They've been supporting me and my content, and I'm really grateful for that. So stay tuned to the end of this video to hear more about what they're doing. Tip number 1 that I have for you guys is read self-help books. Now, of course, for me being blind, I do it through audiobooks that I get from Audible, but I mean, go to the library and check them out, get ebooks, get them from a bookstore. There's so many options. One that's made a huge difference in my life, I read it for the first time when I was about 16 years old, and I've since read it multiple times, and that is You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. So that brings us, like I said, to tip number 2, which is something that I learned from You Can Heal Your Life, and that is the power of affirmations. And I know it sounds a little silly perhaps, but I think when you hit rock bottom, you just want to try anything. You just become so much more open to trying whatever there is that might help you. When I first heard of affirmations, I thought, okay, this sounds like a little hokey pokey. But once I started doing it, it's something that since I was 16, I've been doing. I'm 25 now, so for the past 9 years of my life, I've consistently done it every single day. It's how I end my day. It's what I do right before I go to bed. It just like centers me and brings me peace. My personal affirmations that I say every single day are: you are strong, you are smart, you are beautiful, you are talented. You deserve to be happy, you deserve to be healthy, you deserve to be successful, and you deserve to find love. And saying that to myself every single day, at first you're like, I feel kind of silly, I feel selfish almost for wanting these things or asking for these, but I really think that the power of self-talk is huge. And when you're only ever telling yourself negative things, I'm too fat, I'm not good enough, I'm ugly, you believe that. And when you're already battling something like a chemical imbalance in your brain that's triggering depression, it's so important to feed ourselves positivity. There are things that really truly did help me. I made a vision board for the first time at 15 when I was battling my situational depression. And it's something that once again I continue to do in my life. And a vision board, I'll link some information down below, but basically what it is, it's almost like a fun little adult arts and crafts game where you can just like take a piece of paper, cut out clippings from a magazine, write down empowering words for things that you want to see happen in your life. So affirmations, harnessing the power of universal energy, and positive self-talk for me are some huge tips. By the way, guys, I'm sure you've been able to tell just by some of the background noise and maybe some of the wind. I am outside, and I wanted to be outside to film this video because symbolically I wanted to have nature be a part of this video, since I do think getting outside, breathing in fresh air, being a part of nature is so healing, which is kind of a part of point number 3, and that is heal yourself mind, body, spirit. Treat it as like a full body experience. So for me, when I was dealing with my depression the first time, I really focused on not just healing my brain and my emotions, but healing my whole self and being the best version of me that I could be. And that included starting to work out more, getting more into fitness, starting to eat healthy, feed my body food that really fuels me and doesn't bring my energy down. I think that's something I highly recommend, is looking into exploring fitness and health as a full being and healing your whole self. Tip number 4 that I want to share with you is finding an outlet, a passion, a hobby. For me, that became music. I started, journaling and writing lyrics, just getting my emotions out in what felt like a safe way, a healthy way. So I would write down, whatever I was feeling, and I would turn it into a song, and then I would start to sing, and then I started getting involved in a local music community. I started, jamming with other musicians, and all of a sudden I was getting out of myself and my own experiences. I was able to find a healthy way to express myself and find a community of people to support me when I felt really isolated and when I felt really alone. So whatever it is for you in your life, whether it's like kicking your anger into a soccer ball or painting your fear onto a canvas, get out of yourself, put those emotions into something, and find that community as well. And finally, tip number 5, that is seek professional help. Like I said at the beginning of this, I'm not a professional, but there are so many mental health professionals and specialists who can and will make a big difference to your journey. I worked with a psychologist for many, many, many years, as well as a cognitive behavior therapist, and both made a really big difference to my journey. I think, a lot of people can maybe feel like there's a stigma to getting help, but it really is so helpful, honestly. Even if you're not going through mental health issues, and I've said this my whole life, my mom can attest, I think everybody should go to therapy. It's amazing feeling like you have this safe person in your life that's so disconnected from every other aspect of what you do and live every day to just share everything with. It's such a safe space, and it's amazing. If you go to somebody and it doesn't feel like the right fit, don't give up and think that therapy isn't for you. Continue to search and find that right person, because once you find the right fit, it will make such a huge difference. And in talking about seeking professional help, I do also want to mention that I know there is a lot of stigma around taking medication to help, and it's something that I battled with a lot, feeling like I wanted to be able to get through this without medication, but ultimately, if you have diabetes, you don't hesitate to take your insulin. If you break your arm, you don't hesitate to put a cast on to heal it. And so why do we question what we need to do to heal our brains? We shouldn't. And so ultimately, if you're at a point where you feel like medication is the only option and that's what's being recommended by your professional team, don't be afraid, don't be embarrassed, don't be ashamed to take that step. And so now I want to talk about Johnson & Johnson and everything that they do. Johnson & Johnson not only funds research into mental health, but into treatments as well. And they're really passionate about practicing what they preach. They're not just interested in helping consumers, but also in helping their own staff. They offer 24/7 access to educational tools and resources to help with any mental health issues, whether it just be something like stress or something more serious like an eating disorder or severe anxiety and panic attacks. They offer things like counselors on site, as well as tools to help like childcare. So I think it's really amazing, and I encourage you to look into what maybe your university or your job offers in terms of resources and tools for mental health, and I encourage more companies to do what Johnson & Johnson is doing. It's super important that we be healthy, mind, body, and spirit. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Ultimately, I just want to encourage you to not be ashamed of who you are or what you're going through, to reach out for support, and to know that it gets better isn't just a cheesy phrase. It's something that I say because I've lived it and I know that it's true. And I'm excited for you to go on your journey of